Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the KotLC Fanbase channel. My name is Joey and today I'm going to be hosting a KotLC Ability Tournament bracket. A couple weeks ago I did this bracket but with KotLC characters, and if you haven't checked it out, make sure to do so because it was a really fun video. But this time I'm going to be doing abilities and we are going to see which ability is the best. Basically, I have a list of all of the 24 abilities in KotLC, and they are randomly pitted up against each other in a tournament style, where you have to win each battle to advance to the next round, and the most useful, the best ability, the most powerful ability moves on. If you're excited for this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our KotLC YouTube channel. We are trying to reach 11,000 subscribers. Make sure to check out our Discord server, which is linked in the description below. And comment down below, what is your favorite ability? Which one do you think is going to win? And without further ado, let's get into the tournament. Alright, I have the bracket pulled up and let's go through all of the abilities in the book. Enhancer, Technopath, Beguiler, Shade, Flasher, Guster, Mesmer, Telepath, Froster, Teleporter, Empath, Descrier, Vanisher, Inflictor, Conjurer, Hydrokinetic, Phaser, Psionipath, Hydrokinetic, Voice of Raider, and Polygon. Let's start the tournament. And since there aren't a perfect number of abilities, there are some rounds that you have to start off with. And the first one being Phaser versus Hydrokinetic. So in terms of most useful, Hydrokinetic, you're never wet. You can always dry yourself really quickly. There's no worry about rain. But a Phaser, you can walk through any wall you want, pretty much, I think. But in terms of powerful, I do think Hydrokinetic 100% takes the cake here. I'm going to give Hydrokinetic the winner. So Hydrokinetic moves on to the next round. The next one is Polygon versus Descrier. And Descrier is being described as super rare because only Councillor Tarek has the ability, but I don't really see it being all that useful, and I really think that Polygon is actually the better ability here. Next one, Vanisher versus Voice of Raider. Hands down, Vanisher is a really cool ability. And Voice of Raider, I'm pretty sure that's just when you can emit, like, the way I see it, you can just scream really loud if you have a Voice of Raider. I don't really see Voice of Raider being all that useful or powerful. Vanisher is one of my favorite abilities, so this one is an easy win for me. I didn't really have to think about it. And next round is Pyrokinetic versus Inflictor. This is a crazy matchup, and we haven't even gotten to like the actual rounds yet. This is just like the vote in. I randomized the list of abilities, so this is just a totally random matchup, and this is like a really good one because they're both really dangerous abilities, and obviously Pyrokinetics are banned. You're not allowed to use it. If you do manifest, you have to like train with the council or some specialized people. I don't really know. But inflicting is super rare, super powerful, and pretty useful because really nobody can hurt you if you have that ability. I think I'm just going to base it on which one I'd rather have if I was an elf in the Lost Cities, because Pyrokinetics are banned. You are looked down upon if you have this ability, even though it's really rare and powerful. I'm going to have to go with Inflicting. Next up, Conjurer versus Psionipath. If you guys don't know, Conjuring is my favorite ability, so this might be a little bit biased. We saw how useful and powerful Psionipath is against the Black Swan when Roy just destroyed everybody just by protecting the Neverseen, and Sophie just couldn't do anything against it. So it is very useful and very powerful. But I really don't think Conjuring, as much as I like it, I don't think it lives up to Psionipath. It's not that useful. So unfortunately, I do think I'm gonna have to knock out my favorite ability in the first round. All right, round 2, Enhancer versus Hydrokinetic. I mean, enhancing, it's cool, but it's one of Sophie's 5 abilities that I think it's the one that she uses the least. I don't know, I just don't really feel like it's a good ability for Sophie to have, but I'd rather be a Hydrokinetic, and I think that one's way more powerful and way more useful. All right, next one, Froster versus Telepath. I mean, telepathy is considered to be extremely rare, extremely powerful. Everybody wants to be a telepath. Telepath is just better in all ways, I think. All right, next one, Flasher versus Polygon. When I think of a Flasher, I think of Elwyn. You can control and manipulate light, and Elwyn used it to his advantage greatly because he can see specific things wrong with their cells by looking through different glasses and stuff. I don't really know. But if I had to choose, I'd rather be a Flasher, so I'm gonna go with that one. Ooh, this is a really good matchup actually. Vanisher versus Shade. A Shade is like a really sneaky, shadowy ability where you can control the shadows. Dark ability, you know what I'm saying? But it is really powerful, so it's like there's an upside and a downside. So I think it just comes down to which one would I rather have, and that's gotta be Vanisher. So I'm gonna go with Vanishing because I really think it is really powerful. All right, next one, Beguiler versus Inflictor. It's not even close. Beguiling is not very useful outside of heady conversations, I think, and inflicting is obviously way more powerful, so I'm just gonna go with that. Alright, next battle is Empath versus Guster. We all know Empathy, really useful ability. As we saw in this whole series, Keith is just an amazing empath, and he's used his ability that doesn't seem very powerful in a very powerful way. And Gusting, you just control the wind. That's all it is. So I think Empath is definitely a better ability here. Okay, Mesmer versus Teleporter. So Teleporter was included as an official ability, but the only people who have it is Sophie and the Alicorns. So I don't know how I feel about this, because teleporting is not, like, I wouldn't consider it a real ability because you can't manifest it. Mesmer is a really incredibly powerful ability. You basically have complete mind control of anybody and everybody. And I'm really, really glad that Grady is the only Mesmer, because imagine if like somebody on the Never Scene was a Mesmer. I'm gonna have to go with Mesmer here. I don't know if that might be an unpopular choice, but that's what I like better. All right, next one, Psionipath versus Technopath. All right, so Technopath, you know, you can tinker with technology. It is useful, but in terms of in a battle, you know, you can create little gadgets to help you, I guess. But Dex even himself said that he didn't want to manifest as a Technopath, and he'd rather search for a different one that was more powerful. So I'm going with Psionipath. Ooh, this is a really good one. Hydrokinetic versus Telepath. These are really powerful abilities. They're both powerful in their own right. We've seen how powerful and destructive Lynn can be. But for this one, I think I'm gonna have to go with Telepathy, because you've seen how incredibly powerful Sophie is with that ability. She can break people's minds, she can heal their minds, and it's just something that's been proven to be so much more useful than being a Hydrokinetic. So I think Telepathy is the better ability. Flasher versus Vanisher. Personally, flashing, like, it's better than a Polygon, but just vanishing is 100% the better ability. I don't have to say much about this because it's not that hard of a choice. Flashing is cool, you know, Ormbacker is a flasher, he has that cool light show, but just vanishing, it's the better ability. Alright, Inflictor versus Empath. This is getting really hard because they're both actually kind of similar abilities. You can mess with people's feelings or feel their feelings. So inflicting is obviously way more powerful than being an empath. But I feel like it's only useful if you're in a battle, which 99% of elves have never been in a battle before. But if you're in the Black Swan, you might want to be an inflictor, but I think I'm going to send Empath to the next round. I think it's the better ability. Alright, next one, Mesmer versus Psionipath. I think this is where Psionipath is going to lose. Mesmering, I mean, it's unstoppable. We've seen Grady make Brant burn his own hand and he was defenseless against it. Like, Mesmering is definitely more powerful. It should be used more. If Grady was part of the Black Swan, if Grady wanted to use his ability, he could, like, easily beat the Never Seen. Alright, we are on to the semifinals. We have 4 abilities left: Telepath, Vanisher, Empath, and Mesmer. And this is a really hard matchup. Telepath versus Vanishing. I think Telepathy is definitely the more useful ability. Telepathy is just more useful and more powerful than Vanishing. I definitely want to be a Telepath more than I want to be a Vanisher. So I think it wins. I think Telepath moves on to the finals. The next round is Empath versus Mesmer. I think Empathy is the underdog here because if we're basing this purely on powerful, I think Mesmer wins. But think about all the times Mesmer's been used in the series. It's been used like once. But if you think about all the times Empathy has helped Sophie stay calm, Sophie understand her own feelings better, has helped the whole group. I really just don't think Mesmer could do that. I think Empathy is the better ability and it's going on to the finals. So we have a very interesting final round. The final round is Telepathy versus Empathy. I'm honestly not that surprised because, you know, Fitz is the Telepath and Keith is the Empath, so is it kind of Fitz versus Keith here? But I'm not gonna let that bias me. Telepathy is just, I think it's the better ability. I'd rather have it. And if you wanted to, you could just reach into somebody's mind and find out how they're feeling that way. It's not as genuine as an empath, but it is kind of a workaround. Let's put it this way. If Sophie was an empath rather than a telepath, she would not be half as powerful as she was. So I think Telepathy wins. And there we have it. Telepathy wins over Empathy. I think it is the most powerful ability. It is the most useful ability to have in the Lost Cities if you are an elf. Empathy, a very close second. Mesmer or Vanisher in third or fourth, I guess. Hydrokinesis is also up there. Inflicting, Psionipath. And I'm really sad that Pyrokinetic got knocked out in the first round because I think it would have gone a longer way if it wasn't up against Inflicting. So that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the KotLC ability bracket. But as always, let me know if you guys agree with this or disagree with this, and what is your favorite ability in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to our channel because we're trying to reach 11,000 subscribers. I'm also going to try to do a community post in the near future. There's going to be a poll every day of which character. It's like an elimination tournament, and we're going to compile all those for a video. So I hope to do that in the future, so stay tuned for that. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.